So how can you make sure that you're choosing the right life insurance company for your whole life insurance policy? Today, I'm going to walk through an exercise that will take a lot of people through when it comes to selecting the product that they prefer. So what we'll look at here is an individual that is planning to fund a policy with $100,000 per year. The policy is going to be set up for maximum cash value. So their premium, which is what they are committed to at a minimum, is $10,000. And then they've got a paid up additions rider for $90,000. So we'll refer to this as a 1090 split, which is a method to minimize the insurance expenses and maximize the cash value. So we're going to look at two options here. We've got MassMutual and then also Guardian, two of your four major mutual companies. So here's the big difference between the two. Guardian is one of the most flexible companies there are when it comes to whole life insurance policies. So with them, you can have a policy where you commit just to the minimum premium. So you pay $10,000 per year. That's what you're billed for. That can even be paid over 12 months. And then 100% at your leisure, you can just add PUAs to the policy. It does not have to be $90,000. We're assuming this policy is set up with the ability to handle a total of $100,000 per year. So you know, if this is you, you can add another $90,000 into PUAs. But again, you are not committed to it. So now you're using the policy more as a flexible savings asset. But again, this dollar amount can be anything you'd like, and you add money through your online portal, can be through a mobile app, a wire transfer. It's very, very flexible. Guardian's sweet spot, in my opinion, from a funding period, is having the ability to do something like this. Have a $10,000 minimum, being able to add another $90,000. You can even set up where it's another $100,000. You can pay 10x the base premium in PUAs every year. That's the maximum we can illustrate. The sweet spot is setting up a design that allows funding like that for 10 years. And then after the 10th year, I'm either stopping the funding altogether or I'm paying a reduced amount, which consists of typically just the premium, or maybe it's the premium plus another $10,000 in PUA, so it'd be $20,000, meaning I'm really cooling off on the funding. That has to do with how we attach a term rider to a policy. It also has to do with some of Guardian's limits. But where Guardian works really, really well is if someone says, I like that flexibility where I can commit to a minimal amount. I want to be able to add PUAs at leisure. I want to fund it 10 years or less. Doesn't have to be 10. Maybe it's 5 years. You know what? I want to add one thing here. You could actually even make this 15 years or less if you wanted to. That still works where the policy is attractive, but call it 10 to 15 years maximum. Can easily be less than that. If it's 7 years or less, the numbers will look really good, especially on a guaranteed basis. But that is where Guardian works quite nicely. It can commit to a minimal amount and add more discretion. MassMutual, on the other hand, is a behemoth of a life insurance company in terms of size and still offers a lot of flexibility. They've got some other advantages with their funding. So I can have the same type of setup from a design standpoint where I can carry a $10,000 minimum premium. The thing with them is when I add PUAs, they typically have to be added at the same time as the base premium. So when's your base premium due? When do you have to pay it? On your premium due date. This is also referred to as your policy anniversary date. So if you said, hey, I want to pay in a total of $100,000 this year, what would happen is your $10,000 premium, that's fixed, that's not going to change. But we, or your agent, whoever worked with you in setting up this policy, would adjust your PUA amount to $90,000. After it's adjusted, you'll see a total bill for $100,000 show up on your online account, and then you can make the payment. If you said, I want to be able to pay in $30,000 this year because I had a slower year, well, what'll happen? The $10,000 is fixed. The PUA, we would adjust. Now they've got a couple different PUA riders, which we've got videos that go through the different riders there and the importance of setting up the policy correctly from the get-go. Because if you do things wrong, you won't be able to make adjustments in a convenient manner on your policy anniversary date. We usually use a combination of their AILR rider, one of them, and also their LISR rider. These are different PUA and term riders. This is a combination of a PUA and term. But technical terms there, you've got to set the policy up correctly is my main thing. The big difference, however, between Guardian and Mass from a flexibility standpoint, Guardian, I can commit to the minimum, add more at leisure. Mass, I've got to pay the base premium and the PUA at the same time. MassMutual has a very attractive 10 pay and 15 pay, which allow me to pay into it for a maximum of 10 and 15 years. It can be a shorter period of time if you do things right. But if you said, I want to be able to pay into a policy for a long time, on occasion we'll have individuals that say, I want to be able to pay $100,000 per year, and I want to be able to do that for the next 30 years. So I would go with a Mass product that could be their high early cash value. It's probably the option that an individual will select because you'll see give you strong upfront and long-term cash value compared to the other products. But you could also look at their L65 or even their Whole Life 100. These are products where we could have a design like what we see here, 10K minimum, 90K PUA, and keep on feeding the beast for 30 years without running into a MEC situation, which is a taxable event, keeping my premium low, and if I have to scale it down, I know it's 10,000, so it can go back to those flexibility rules we mentioned earlier. But that's how we would help someone. The main question would be, do you like the idea of committing to a low amount and adding more discretion? And do you feel that you're going to want to fund it for a maximum of 10 to 15 years? Someone says, yeah, like it's probably not going to be longer than 10 years, not the maximum amount. And I do like being able to commit to a low dollar amount and add more discretion. Guardian works really, really well in that case. If someone doesn't care about the flexibility, wants the ability to fund for a longer period of time, or maybe it's 10 or 15 years and they go with a 10 or 15 pay product, but they like MassMutual because of the company size, company strength, attractive dividend rate, historical performance. They just prefer them as a carrier. That's where that works well. The most important thing to do is see the different options. What I like to do in a case like this is run illustrations with both companies. Maybe I look at one product from Guardian and one from Mass, maybe two from one carrier, depending on the discussion we have and such, but show the different options so you can see them side by side, then discuss exactly what can and cannot be done, go over how other people that have been in a similar situation to you, how they've used their policy, maybe we talk about the loan features a bit and such. Just have enough awareness to pick the option that you feel you can just put the pedal to the metal and use the product to the fullest degree as time passes. That's really the key. I hope that made sense because I got kind of excited as I went through that quickly. Let us know if that helps, if you have any questions at all, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Hey guys, Steve here with IBC Global. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you're interested in a whole life insurance policy and you'd like to work with our company in setting it up, please visit our website, ibcglobalinc.com. We would love to work with you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And as always, I hope this helps.